So we're here at St James's Park for this massive Premier League match between Newcastle United and Arsenal. We need a win to keep hot on the heels of leaders Manchester City, while 3 points for host Newcastle United will put them in a massive advantage in the race for the top four. So with so much at stake for both clubs, this looks set to be a really, really big game. So join us for all the action from St James's Park, Newcastle United against Arsenal. It's going to be a good one. So our journey begins here at Palmersville Metro Station, where we are going to get the Metro to Haymarket. And here comes the train. It's actually on time for a change, which is nice. And we're on our way to Haymarket. So we made it to Haymarket Station on probably the hottest underground train ever in history of the world. But anyway, we are now going to get on the shortest walk from here to St James's Park. Bad news is we haven't still managed to get tickets yet for the game, but worst case scenario is we can at least sample some of the pre-match atmosphere, and we can always watch the game in one of the pubs next to the stadium. Much has been made of last season's performance here, and of course that defeat did all but end our Champions League hopes, and a similar result today would hand the title to Manchester City. Some perspective is needed. That was only our second defeat here since 2006, and in fact we've only lost 2 of the last 23 meetings with Newcastle in all competitions going back to 2010. So we ended a run of 4 games without a win with that midweek demolition of Chelsea, but Newcastle have lost just once here all season, and they've won 8 of their last 9 matches in all competitions. Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson have scored 15 goals between them in that run, so that is going to be where the danger lies, especially as Arsenal arrive here today with some injury doubts in defence. Of course, a worrying stat for Arsenal is despite our great away form this season, we've only actually won once in the north of England all season. That was a rather fortunate 1-0 win at Leeds back in October, so that's another record that we need to put right today. It is 17 years to the day since Arsenal played their last game at Highbury, where of course we were promised that we'd be competing with Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Quite why it's taken us 17 years to challenge for the title is maybe a story for another day, but we are now back in the Champions League for next season. Will Newcastle be joining us? Stay with us and we will find out in the next few hours. Adam Pearson, obviously great YouTuber, Newcastle fan. What are your thoughts of the game today?
Well, it is going to be a tricky game for both teams. Of course, Arsenal are still trying to win the title. To be brutally honest, I think you probably got out of it now. I think City have got just far too many games left, and they've been classed, to be fair. So it's a must-win for Arsenal in the sense that you've got to obviously get the points in and hope that City drop them. But I think it's a tricky one for Newcastle as well, because I think statistically we're 7 points off Champions League football, and I think if we get at least one today, we are looking almost certain to get it. I think this game is so huge just starting after that little run for us.
What are your thoughts on the game today for Newcastle?
To be honest with you, I fancied this game today. At first I was nervous. I might be nervous coming close to the game in a game like this, but I'm confident we're going to get something out of this game today because we're playing so well, Richard. We're winning games at home. We're in a position now we can just push on and get that top 4. I've just heard Adam, 7 points, majestic 7 points would be definitely enough to get us Champions League. I do think 2 more wins, in my opinion, will get us through there, mate.
So I'm here with one of my favourite Newcastle YouTubers, Paul from the Team Review. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Looking forward to it.
What are your thoughts ahead of the game today? Obviously, it's a big game for both teams.
It is. From an Arsenal point of view, I don't know what team's going to turn up. I've seen you be dreadful this season, but I've also seen you be absolutely superb, and I genuinely thought and hoped we were going to win the league. It would have been nice for somebody different to win the league, and if anyone was going to win it out of the 3 that were up there, it was Arsenal we wanted. Having said that, it's not over yet. Fat Lady hasn't sung, but you know, today we've got something to play for, and that's kind of what swings it for me. You know, we've been playing so well. I think the first half is important for us that we start well, because if we don't, I think you guys could well make it very difficult. But if we start well, it could be a different game. I said 2-2 on my preview show. My head says 2-2. My heart wants like 3-1 or something, obviously, but we'll see how it goes.
So we've got the team news in then. Gabriel is fit for Arsenal, which is good news. So Martinelli's back in the starting lineup alongside Jesus and, of course, Bukayo Saka. Newcastle, and they've gone for it. Wilson and Isaac both start with Murphy in the front three. Willox plays as well in midfield for Newcastle. So he wasn't able to get a ticket for the game. Well, we got offered one just at the end, but obviously wanted two. So unfortunately, plan B, which is the Shark Club. So we're going to come into the Shark Club, watch the game in here instead, which should be all right. 15 minutes gone, Arsenal just scored. Martin Ødegaard. Newcastle had a penalty just before handball, but the referee went to the VAR screen, overruled it. He gave it initially. It was Kyrgios with a handball, it came off his leg. And it's a right decision. Martin Ødegaard's just scored, so it's been a lively start to the game. It's pretty lively in his pub as well, but Newcastle 0, Arsenal 1. We've played 15 minutes. So it's half time, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 1. Bit of a lively first half, wasn't it? Newcastle hit the post early on, Jacob Murphy, then they were ordered a penalty, a handball against Kyrgios, but after VAR check, the referee went to the screen, didn't give it. It did look like it hit his thigh actually. I think it was the right decision, and then straight after that, Arsenal went up the other end and scored. Martin Ødegaard with a shot from outside the box. Arsenal have had actually 3 chances after that to seal the points really. Martinelli, Saka and then Ødegaard right at the end of the half with efforts that were all saved by Nick Pope, but they're all 3 one-on-ones and one of them has to go in. A 1-0 lead certainly isn't enough. Newcastle have certainly posed a threat. Midway through the second half, it's still Newcastle 0, Arsenal 1. Both teams a bit of woodwork in the second half. Ramsdale made a great save as well from Cher header. It's been very feisty again in the second half so far. Tackles flying in. So Arsenal just scored a second goal. I think that's going to seal the points. Counter attack it was. Martinelli got clear down the left hand side. Didn't really have a lot of support actually. He took his time, got to the byline, pulled it back, and Fabian Cher turned it into his own net. There's 18 minutes to play. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2. I think that seals the victory. So full time and it finished, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2, a really good Arsenal performance in the end. First 10 minutes were a bit shaky, weren't they? Newcastle at the post had a penalty which was rightly overruled in the end. It didn't hit his arm, did it? Hit his thigh, but once we got the first goal I thought we were in control of the game and deserved to win. We could have scored a few more goals, couldn't we? Nick Pope made some good saves, we missed a few chances as well, and the second goal kind of sealed it, didn't it? With 25 minutes to go. Again on the counter attack, good play from Martinelli, and got the second goal. So yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be enough to win the title, is it? Unfortunately, I think that happened at the Etihad a couple of weeks ago. That was our opportunity to really come back at Man City and see what we can do. But we're going to keep fighting to the end. I think we've shown that the last couple of games now. It was a good Arsenal performance today. It's win our 3 games, we'll see. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. But at least we've given it a go today. I wasn't expecting us to stand up to it in the way that we did, so credit to everyone. Jorginho was brilliant actually, wasn't he? He got player of the match, understandably so. He was fantastic. It just makes you wonder why maybe he wasn't playing in the game at Man City a few weeks ago. But anyway, that's in the past now. That's done. We can just win our last 3 games and hope Man City slip up somewhere along the way, but I'm not expecting them to. I think we're going to finish second and we'll have to accept that, but we're in the Champions League and we showed today that we can stand up to these teams away from home. Really good performance. It's finished here at St James's Park. Arsenal have won by 2-0. Martin Ødegaard in the first half, an own goal from Fabian Cher in the second half, and yeah, brilliant performance from Arsenal. So we're back where we started, Palmersville Metro. Not necessarily the day we were expecting. Not having a ticket, we couldn't quite manage to get into the game, but we watched it in a pub, it was good, and obviously it turned out to be a very good Arsenal performance and a great victory. So all in all, a really good day. Slightly different vlog. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like
And subscribe.
And subscribe, yeah. If you are enjoying what we do, subscribe. We'll be back very soon with. I don't know if we'll get another Matchday vlog in this season now. We may do, but there'll be loads of other great stuff, of course, coming up on the channel as always. And of course, don't forget the women's watch along on Wednesday, Arsenal against Brighton. So join us for that as well. But if you've enjoyed this, give it a like. Please subscribe. We will see you very soon. And in the meantime, come on, you Gunners, come on.